What is going on, movie lovers? This is To the Last Credit. We're coming at you today. Oh my god. What is going on, movie lovers? This is To the Last Credit, and today we're going to be doing our top 10 favorite movies of 2016. Now, it's a little late because it is 2017, but, we only...
That makes the list better.
Yeah, now we've seen more movies, and now we've seen all the movies we want to see, and so this will make our list better and make this podcast better. So,
Sure.
anyways, I'm of course here with my series. I'm Dylan, of course, and I'm here with and we are here with our series regulars. I never know what to say there. Darren, how are you doing?
Doing great. Ready to talk some movies.
Miller, you excited to share your top 10 list with us? I'm really excited to hear your list.
Thank you. I'm glad that you're really excited, and I'm excited to share.
I'm really interested to see how it goes with you. I think I know most of Darren and Will's list, but I'm not really sure about yours. Will, what's going on?
Not much. What's going on with y'all?
Nothing.
We just told you.
Yes. Yeah, we just told you. Anyways, guys, we're going to be doing this in a type of way where we'll go 10 through 6. We'll do our 10 through 6, and then we'll move on to the next person, and they'll do their 10 through 6, and so on, and then we'll come back around, and then we'll do our 5 through 1, and go back around, and so on. So let's start. Who wants to start off? Anyone in particular?
I'll go.
Nobody else wants to.
Will, you go ahead and go.
All right. So I should point out that unlike most top 10 lists, okay, my list is in no particular order. I don't rank movies. So these are just the 10 movies that I love the most of the last year, and they're not necessarily 10 through 6. They're just the first 5 on my list. So I've got Batman versus Superman, obviously. I really love that movie. I don't care what anybody else says. I thought it was really good. It did have a few flaws, but I thought the good points definitely outweighed the flaws. So, Batman v Superman, Deadpool, obviously again. I have Star Trek Beyond on my list because I really thought that Star Trek Beyond really did a good job, I felt, of playing in their own sandbox that they've created over the last 3 movies, but also paying tribute to 50 years of Star Trek history because it was the 50th anniversary film. And I thought that they did a really good job of that. I thought that there were a lot of parts that were very much a love letter to the original series, and I really appreciated that, and that's why that's on my list. Don't Breathe is one of the best horror films I've seen in a long time, so that's on the list. Don't Breathe is one of those movies that I really, really enjoyed, but I'll never, ever, ever watch again because there was just some really fucked up shit in that movie. It was a really good movie. And then rounding out the first half of my list, I have Captain America Civil War.
That was interesting. I'm really surprised that Don't Breathe is on your list. I didn't
And
think
Captain America.
Yeah, I mean, I really love Don't Breathe, but it's not on my list. But yeah, Don't Breathe was spectacular. I mean, it was a great thrill. It was nice to see with an audience. I saw it twice. It is just, I mean, I love that movie. I really do love that movie.
Yeah, I'm in the minority in the Don't Breathe because I'm one of the people who severely dislikes that movie. I think that movie
Same.
gets over its head in the third act and then gets super repetitive and fucking boring. But
Well, yeah, I remember when we did our podcast review on that, you were like the only one of the group that was like, yeah, fuck this movie.
I didn't like it either.
Miller didn't like it either. Yeah, that's true.
I forgot Miller didn't like it, but I disliked it more than Miller did. But anyways, Darren, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'm gonna start off with my what was it, 10 through 6?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to throw out some honorable mentions. The movies that didn't make my list. Kicks is an amazing film. Not a lot of people saw it. I definitely recommend that you see it. Zootopia was an amazing animated film. The Neon Demon was also very good. Don't Breathe, as Will said, that ended up in Will's top 10. Don't Breathe is an amazing horror film. Hacksaw Ridge, Also, incredible war movie, Mel Gibson's resurgence. Andrew Garfield was amazing in that film. And also Lion. Lion is a very touching film. It's one of the best theater experiences I had while watching a movie last year. And Dev Patel and Rooney Mara and Nicole Kidman, they were just mind-blowing in just how good that movie was. So, but yeah, just getting into my list. Number 10 is Deadpool. Deadpool, for me, is the little movie that could last year. It surprised me with its unique humor, its Olympic action. I love the way they told the story with the non-linear style. And you know, it's the only movie that last year that I went to and I bought a ticket right after I saw it, and I saw it again. Because I was just really enamored with the movie. I really loved it. And I really loved that they actually were able to do it. Ryan Reynolds did a great job. Tim Miller did a great job. And I really enjoyed that film. And number 9 is The Nice Guys. The Nice Guys is probably the most underrated movie of last year. Well, one of them. For me, The Nice Guys was a very nice little treat in the middle of the summer last year. Because, like, we got superhero film after superhero film after superhero film. I love superhero films, but, you know, kind of gets tired after a while. But this one came out, it was just a nice LA detective story with 3 brilliant leads and some great writing and directing from Shane Black. I really wish more people saw this movie because I want to see this franchise like this continue, but alas, it probably won't. And yeah, Star Trek Beyond is number 8. Star Trek Beyond was I completely agree with Will. It's a nice melding of everything people have been wanting from Star Trek, that more adventure, more harkening back to the original series, but it also doesn't shy away and doesn't brush away any of the fans that I got into Star Trek because of J.J. Abrams' films, and it still keeps in line with everything he brought. And also the ensemble. How they handle ensemble in this movie is something I want to see from more team-up films, because everybody got their moment to shine. Everyone got something to do in this movie. And I really hope that we can see that continue not only in this franchise, but hopefully that bleeds into other franchises as well. And I think Star Trek Beyond also kind of was one more thing. Sorry, Star Trek Beyond also I think this is another one of those great movie trilogies, because I love Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness. It has a few problems, but I love Star Trek Into Darkness, and this one rounds it out. I think this is a brilliant trilogy. But Will, you're going to say something?
Yeah. Adding to what you said about Star Trek Beyond being a great ensemble film, that's something that is very ingrained into the Star Trek formula, but it's something that the movies have never really been able to capture because, of course, you're afforded the opportunity to do a lot more with a weekly television series than you have with a 2-hour movie. And that's something that, there would always be Star Trek The Next Generation, Data would get his episode, or Riker would get his episode that, he was the center character of. Or, even Wesley Crusher would get his episode that he was the main character of. And so the ensemble on the television format was really well. And you're right, this movie was able to capture that in a way that all Star Trek movies really have been lacking in. So that was really appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, it was great.
For me.
Yeah, it was great, and I just hope that bleeds over to other franchises, because, I mean, shit, even the Avengers can't give everybody their own moment sometimes. So, yeah, and then number 7 is Eddie the Eagle. I love this film.
Oh.
Eddie the Eagle, I absolutely love this film. It was an inspiring story. I don't really like sports films. For me, it's just, they're either going to lose and it's still going to be a happy ending because they still tried, or, they win and everybody's happy and all this shit. But, it was a nice movie that I saw in a time of my life when I was really down, and I was, figuring out whether or not I should move from Florida to Atlanta. And this film kind of pushed me to do it, because it's about this guy who's just, everyone is against him. His country is against him. His father is against him. Everybody is against him trying to do this thing, but he never falters. Like, he never gives up in doing this dream, and he doesn't care whether or not he's the best or, he's the worst. He just wants to do it. He just wants to try. And I really love that about this film. And the director, I think, is Matthew Mardison. He does a great job. I don't know that much about his his work, but he just does a fantastic job. He directs Hugh Jackman. It's a different role from things we've seen from Hugh Jackman in the past too. You know, he's playing this mentor. It's not an action role. He's kind of down on his luck too. And Taron Egerton, he does a great job from what we saw from Kingsman: The Secret Service, the year before. So I really did like this movie. It's one to remember, and it's honestly one of the best films of the year for me. It really stayed with me. And last but not least, Patriots Day is my number 6. Patriots Day, absolutely loved it. I know, Miller, you did not like it at all. But I thought it was a very haunting look at the Boston bombing. That Peter Berg crafted that tale masterfully. The performances were great. If you have any trepidation of J.K. Simmons playing Commissioner Gordon, go watch Patriots Day. You're going to want to see him as Commissioner Gordon. I just thought it was a fantastic film and it also balances. It has great human moments in it, and with the tragedy, it also has nice moments of humor, and they balance that levity out. So I really enjoyed this film. I mean, it was a great surprise at the end of the year, seeing this movie at the end of the year, and it instantly entered my top 10 as soon as I saw it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Awesome. Some surprising picks on there. I did not expect Eddie the Eagle at all.
Well, and Tish is not with us tonight, but I'll tell you, Eddie the Eagle would probably have been on her list too, because I do know she loved that movie.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
So,
Miller, your 10 through 6?
Actually, like Darren, I'm going to go through some honorable mentions quickly. These aren't in any order, but the first one of my honorable mentions is Maggie Plan, which is a Greta Gerwig, Ethan Hawke movie that came out, or I saw it in June. I think it came out around then. And yeah, I just thought, the trailer, don't watch the trailer because the trailer is awful. It spoils a lot of the movie. But I just thought this was a really clever, unique look into, or just a look into the type of characters that it was trying to show on screen. I thought they did a good job of that, and it flowed really well, and it all came together in the end. And then the next would be Hacksaw Ridge. I think the script is really hokey, but I think Mel Gibson and the cast really bring it together to where it really doesn't matter, and I don't care what anyone says. He deserved his Oscar nomination along with the movie getting nominated for Best Picture. I know people didn't think it was just because of Mel Gibson's past, but whatever. And my last two on my honorable mentions are Sing Street, which Sing Street almost made it in there, but it got edged out along with Hacksaw Ridge. But yeah, really great movie. Should have gotten more recognition from the award, at least a Best Original Song nomination instead of Trolls or something.
Trolls has a good song. I will.
Yeah, but it's not Sing Street's song.
I know. I haven't seen Sing Street yet.
And then the last one is Ignition, which I thought would have done more of the awards, or a while ago I would have thought it would have done more of the awards, but it kind of went under the radar. But yeah, it was a really great movie. The middle's kind of has some pacing issues, but the end does a really clever job of bringing the whole movie together. And once you it kind of pulls the rug right out from under you as you're watching it, and you're just like, oh, so that's what this movie's been trying to do the whole time. And yeah, the performances are great, especially Logan Lerman, who, yeah, that and Perks Being a Wallflower are my favorite performances of his. And okay, moving on to my actual top 10 list. Number 10 would be Green Room. I thought this was a energetic, stylish, tastefully violent thriller. Rest in peace, Anton Yelchin, because you did a hell of a job in this movie, along with Star Trek Beyond. And yeah, this was just a really entertaining movie. It was paced brilliantly. I never really felt like I ever wanted it to end, and the characters worked well for what they needed them to do, and the ending was wonderful.
Yeah.
And then number 9 is 10 Cloverfield Lane. I think the ending, I know a lot of people don't really like the ending and how it just kind of goes where it goes, but I thought it worked really well in the context of the movie, and it makes it a little bit weaker, but I thought like I said, and I thought up until that point, I really loved it because John Goodman was great. Probably should have gotten nominated for an Oscar, but that was never going to happen. because he was actually like scary. Like he brought that scary side of John Goodman back, and I love that. And this is a movie that didn't really seem like it should have been in IMAX, but well, until before the movie actually came out. But then when you saw it, you're like, oh wow, that makes sense why that's in IMAX.
Yeah, it helps.
And what were you saying, Darren?
I said it helped.
Yeah, it did help a lot. Especially one particular scene, which you probably know if you've seen the movie. And then number 8 is Manchester by the Sea. Casey Affleck deserves an Oscar for this movie. It really brings out his subtle side as an actor, and just everything his character goes through that transcends onto the audience. And this is an interesting movie because some of the other movies I have on this list, like the characters are like going through a rough patch the entire movie, then it works out. And with and it's not exactly the same with this movie. It's very like true to life, and Kenneth Lonergan does a great job of the directing is kind of shady in some parts, like some of it's a little bit off, but writing wise it's definitely it's a really strong movie otherwise. But yeah, I'd say writing wise he definitely does a better job with writing it, and it's a great ensemble because they all work well together, and Michelle Williams is in the movie for 10 minutes and really does a great job, really earns that Oscar nom even though she's in it for around 10 minutes. Her presence definitely felt throughout the entire movie. And okay, so number 7 is Everybody Wants Some from Richard Linklater. This is just a movie that it feels very like a Richard Linklater movie with how, like, this is going to sound insulting. It seemed like there wasn't much of a plot to this movie, but it worked really well. You were just seeing these characters. Like, there was a plot, it's just there wasn't, like, nothing, like, huge, like, happened. You were just watching these characters' lives play out for a few days. And it was wonderful. Like, I'd watch a television series out of these characters, and it was really entertaining in that way, and just, like it felt like a really long movie, but in the way that a really long movie, in the way that it helps, and it really feels like you've gone on a journey with these people, and it's really, and you feel really fulfilled from it all, and the cast works really well together. Okay, number 6 is a bit of a surprise. It's Neighbors 2, Sorority Rising.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think you guys would expect that. But I really love this movie. I don't really buy movies that much, or newer ones that much, but I bought this movie because I really loved it. I thought this is the best performance of Zac Efron's career, and he really shows how, I think he works in every way, or in both as a dramatic actor and both comedic actor, but I think he worked, this and Micah Dade Need Wedding Dates from here really showed how great of a comedic actor he is, and how unique he is, too. And I just thought, not to get on this whole feminism thing, but I thought this was a really progressive movie for, like, women's rights and how they tapped into the whole, like, oh, sororities aren't allowed to throw parties, but frats are, and like, oh, that's stupid. But it didn't shove it down your throat like other movies or TV shows or any type of medium can. But they did it subtly, and it was a really funny movie, and it's a one that I can keep. It has a really high rewatchability factor. But yeah, that's probably the most surprising. Are we just going to 6?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You made a very strong case for Neighbors 2, and I might be watching it tonight, so, wow.
You should. It's great.
But I agree with you.
Better than the original.
Yeah, just going down your list. Green Room. I think it was I saw that movie, it was a little overhyped. I drove like an hour and a half to see that movie. Because people were fucking overhyping that shit to the roof. But it was still good. I still enjoyed it. I had fun in Anton Yelchin, because the movie... if you guess how it's gonna go, it takes you into the complete 180 on you. You can't guess that movie because you're just like, so this character's gonna do this thing. Oh shit! So this character's gonna run out here. Oh my god, he's just got his legs chopped off. So that doesn't actually happen, by the way. But it messes with you in a great way. So
Patrick Stewart's great in that movie. I didn't mention that, but
yeah, Patrick Stewart is also great in that movie.
Yeah, I was surprised by Neighbors too. But I was also a bit surprised by Green Room. That wasn't a movie. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I think it's got some pacing issues, and it's just I ca- I just I just can't watch that movie. Like it's violent, yeah, but it takes it to like a whole nother fucking level.
Mhm.
And when I was watching that, like that's a movie. I don't usually consider turning off movies because of violence, but that's one movie that I almost did turn off because of violence because it was a lot. It was a lot to handle.
But
I get that. I just, for me, it wasn't like gratuitous, like something like Resident Evil or something.
yeah, because that's the thing. Because everybody was just like, "This is the most violent movie I've ever seen." I was like, it's not really."
Yeah, but it's more realistic.
Yeah,
violence.
yeah, I can get that.
And it's very Green Room is a movie that makes me feel very claustrophobic too.
But
And
that's
it's
a good
probably
thing,
supposed to do that.
Yeah.
It's supposed to do that, but it just makes me not want to watch the movie even more. I mean, it's a fine movie. It's just like it's very hard to get through. But yeah, good 6 through 10. I'm very interested to see how that 5 through 1 goes. Anyways, let me pull up my list. Okay, so my 10 through 6. I'll do honorable mentions, but I'll do them before my number 1 instead of before my number 10. But my number 10.
What's wrong with the way we did it?
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying that
Doing it the Watch Mojo way.
I just don't like if I say some of these, then you guys will know that they're not on my list. So
Right.
yeah.
That's a good point, yeah.
Number 10 is Midnight Special, a movie that I think is very, very underrated, and I was shocked when I saw this movie and so surprised because of how much I liked it. It's led with fantastic performances from Michael Shannon and Joel Edgerton. I love the story and the cinematography, and I adore the score. I've listened to that score so many times, and I love the direction. Jeff Nichols, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Jeff Nichols. I didn't really like Mud, and I haven't seen that other one with Michael Shannon, but I really, really like this one. Take Shelter. That's the other one with Michael Shannon.
They also did Loving this year too.
And I really like the ending to this movie too. It's a little weird, but I really like it. But yeah, Midnight Special. I know you guys hate it, but whatever.
I don't hate it. I just
I
think
just thought it was okay.
yeah.
And number 9 is Manchester by the Sea. Manchester by the Sea, I think Casey Affleck, he totally deserves the Oscar. I don't give a fuck what other people say. There's this thing called innocent until proven guilty. He gave one of the best performances I've seen in this entire decade, probably. Definitely the best performance of 2016. It's a great movie, and like Moonlight, I think Manchester by the Sea has a more depressing premise than Moonlight does, but Manchester by the Sea does a better job at not making you feel completely lifeless than Moonlight does, because it has those moments of levity in there, and it has that bit of humor in there that kind of brings it up a beat and kind of makes you forget how really, really depressing this story that's being told is. And so yeah, I really like that about that movie. I think, as Miller said, I think Kenneth Lonergan's direction is a little shady in some places. I think he directs the actors really, 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 really well, but everything else is just kind of okay. But yeah, and I think Michelle Williams, I don't care. Fuck you. I think Michelle Williams deserves the Oscar over Viola Davis, but that's just me. Anyways, moving on to number 8. My number 8 is Arrival. Everyone except for me in here thought it was just kind of okay, but I really, really liked Arrival. I think Dennis Villeneuve, however you say his name, I think he deserved an Oscar nomination. He directs this movie so well, and this movie shot.
You know he
so
got an
well.
Oscar nomination, right?
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think. Oh, fuck! I didn't think he did. Holy shit! Oh my god.
Well, you know, you spoke it into existence. Let's just say that.
Okay, I'm really happy right now. I totally forgot about that. Holy shit. Okay, well, he got that Oscar nomination. Now I'm really happy that he got it, because I forgot about that. But yeah, he directs this movie so well. It's shot so well. Amy Adams is fantastic. I think she deserved an Oscar nomination. Jeremy Renner is great also, along with Forrest Whitaker. This movie has such a great twist. Do not read or spoil the twist for yourself or anything like that. Go and watch the movie because it will really surprise you. And one small thing about this movie that Will actually pointed out when we did our spoiler review for it a while back, the aliens in this movie are so well designed and so unique. It's amazing, and I'm so glad this movie keeps a grounded tone, grounded premise, I guess, and doesn't not ground. It's not particularly realistic, I guess, but I'm glad it doesn't go off in the third act and like there's no war between the humans and the aliens, and it's just Amy Adams trying to figure out what the hell to do. What do you say, Miller?
I was just saying Independence Day.
Yeah. But yeah, Arrival, my number 8. I really liked it. My number 7, another movie that I'm kind of in the minority on, Batman v Superman. A lot of people hate Batman v Superman, and I'm not one of those people. I really love this movie. I've loved it ever since I saw it, and I loved it even more when I saw the Ultimate Edition. I think Zack Snyder does a great job with this movie. I think my only real problem with Batman v Superman is that I think it gets a little messy in the third act, but this is a biased list, and I still have a ton of fun with that third act. It's just, from a critical perspective, I think it's a little messy, but I think the first 2 acts are absolutely masterful. I love that this movie tries to be something different, and I respect it for that. That it tries to be. It's not just a normal superhero movie. It's something more than that. It's kind of like what Watchmen did back in 2009 or whenever it came out. But yeah, and Ben Affleck, he's the best Batman ever. I don't care what anyone says. Ben Affleck's best Batman ever. Henry Cavill's not the best Superman ever, but I still think he's really great. Yeah, I love most of everything about this movie, and I don't care what the haters say, man. And number 6 is A Monster Calls.
Rawr. I'm sorry.
What?
I think it was a surprise you said.
Yeah, number 6. A Monster Calls is originally much higher on my list, and then I moved it down, but because I rewatched a certain movie, and that had to kind of take its place. But yeah, Monster Calls. I think it's a beautiful movie. J.A. Bayona just fucking kills it with this movie, and I'm so happy because it gives me so much hope for Jurassic World 2, because the first one isn't that great, and he's gonna fucking kill it with Jurassic World 2, and I'm so excited. And I think this movie deserved a lot of nominations at the Oscars. I think it deserved a Best Picture nomination and a Best Director nomination. And fucking the kid in this movie, what's the actor's name that's the kid in this movie?
Lewis McDonald.
Yeah, he's fucking great, and Felicity Jones is amazing too, and so is Sigourney Weaver. The entire cast is great, and the visual effects, oh my god. And another thing that it should have got nominated for is sound editing. The sound editing, every time the monster takes a step, you feel like it's actually happening because of the brilliant sound editing in that movie. And the visual effects, the monster, he looks so fantastic. And the ending isn't the ending you want, but the way it comes together is just so beautiful and inspiring, and I love it so much. I love this movie. So yeah, that's my 10 through 6.
Yeah, Monster Calls definitely the animations in those movies are just in that movie is just like when they do the little animated tails, those were incredible.
Yeah, those were amazing too. Will, you're 5 through 1.
Okay, so again, just to reiterate, my list is not in any particular order. But the second half of my list, after Captain America Civil War, I've got The Jungle Book. I haven't really been impressed with a lot of these Disney live-action remakes of classic animated films, but The Jungle Book was definitely the exception to that. I thought Jon Favreau knocked that out of the park. I thought the CGI in that movie was so photoreal. It was probably better than any CGI of any movie today. Best rendered CG, because you cannot tell that those aren't real animals. They look like real animals that they just CGI'd the mouth, but they're completely CGI animals. And most of the forest is CGI. Pretty much the only thing real in that movie is Mowgli, and you'd be hard pressed to tell the difference. And on top of that, I thought it did a fantastic job of doing its own thing while still staying very true to the cartoon, right even down to the songs. Christopher Walken and Bill Murray were amazing in that movie. It was just a really good movie. I really liked The Jungle Book. Next is Fences. Fences, I thought is a really good movie. It's one of those movies that doesn't come along very often. I thought just the story was engaging. The characters felt like real people. It was just a really, really good movie. And I thought Denzel Washington again was phenomenal in it. But he's phenomenal in everything. I just really enjoyed that. And it's based on a stage play, and it gives you that feeling of watching a stage play. Like, I didn't know going into the movie that it was based on a stage play, and through the whole movie, I'm sitting there going, this is based on a play. And then I waited to the credits to confirm, and indeed it was. But I spent the whole movie going, this was based on a play, because it just has that feel, and it was great. Sully, I really liked Sully. I thought Sully was a great movie. Again, Tom Hanks was fabulous in it. And the best part of that movie, I think, the whole movie was really, really good. But when you get to the end, and over the credits, they show the real Sully and the real whatever Aaron Eckhart's character's name was, co-pilot, and all the real passengers, when they get them back together, and it's almost like a family reunion. That was very, very emotionally charged. That was very great way to end that movie during the credits. Hacksaw Ridge is next on the list. I thought Hacksaw Ridge is one of the greatest war movies I've seen, at least since Saving Private Ryan. And Private Ryan is almost 20 years old now. But Hacksaw Ridge captured the realism and the brutality of war. But more than that, Hacksaw Ridge being about a conscientious objector who ends up becoming one of the most decorated soldiers of World War II really proves that it isn't weapons that win wars, that it's the heart and soul of the American fighting man that wins wars. And I just thought that was a really great message. It was a really great movie. Spider-Man was great in it. It was just I just really, really loved that movie. And then the last movie on my list is The Finest Hours, which again, there are a lot of based on a true stories on my list, I've noticed. But The Finest Hours, again, was just a good movie with a lot of heart. It just really, it just really captures the bravery and the heart and the soul of, in this case, Coast Guard sailors. But it was a really good movie. I remember when this movie came out, I don't remember what the show is called. It's the Young Turks movie review show. And those people are idiots, okay? Obviously, they work for the Young Turks, so you know they're stupid. But they were trashing this movie, saying how unbelievable everything was. And I'm sitting here like, do you idiots realize that this really happened? And the things in the movie, it was very historically accurate. Everything that you think is too good to be true in that movie really actually happened. And it's still the most daring Coast Guard rescue in the history of the United States Coast Guard. And Chris Pine was wonderful in it, and it was a really good movie. And I've got my honor. Oh, I'm sorry, Darren. Were you going to say something?
Wasn't Casey Affleck in that movie too?
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, I believe so.
Did a great job.
Yeah, and the new Spider-Man was in that movie too.
Oh, Tom Holland was in that movie? Huh.
Yeah, Tom Holland was in that movie. Or wait, was he in the Moby Dick movie?
He was in the Moby Dick movie.
Then Keenan Lonsdale was in that movie. Yeah, Keenan Lonsdale was in The Finest Hours, and he was good too. So yeah, Tom Holland was in that terrible Moby Dick movie with Thor. That was, oh my god, that was so boring. But anyway, I've got my honorable mentions too. My honorable mentions are Ghostbusters, and honestly, Ghostbusters almost made my actual list. Not because it's a great movie, but again, because it was so much better than it really had any right to be. It wasn't the garbage that everybody thought it was going to be, and personally, honestly, was hoping for. When I sat down to write my review, and you guys can go check this out on the Blaze and the archives, but when I sat down to write my review on that movie, I was at a loss for words because I had already mapped out that I was going to trash the movie up one side and down the other, and I just couldn't do that because what really sunk this movie was the atrocious behavior of the cast and the director in promoting the movie. The movie itself isn't awful. It really is. And it could have been better, but it really wasn't bad. So that's an honorable mention. And then also Split and Arrival, both of them. I had the same problems with both of them. I thought they both had potential. I thought they could have been exceptionally good. And in a lot of ways, they were both really good movies. But I felt like they were really boring, especially in the middles. And that's where those movies lost me, but they were still really good, and they really had potential and interesting premises, both of them. And like Dylan brought up with Arrival, I really did like how the aliens were designed. It was something that, one, you've never seen before, and two, when you're first introduced to the aliens, you don't really know what you're looking at. You think you're looking at the alien, and then it turns out to just be his hand or whatever. But yeah, the aliens, I thought, and the CGI in Arrival was really good too. But yeah, they just didn't make my list because I thought that they were kind of boring. But yeah, those are my honorable mentions. So
cool.
All right, pretty well-rounded list.
Yeah, interesting list. I was not expecting The Finest Hours.
Yeah, I gotta go check out The Finest Hours now.
I enjoyed it.
I wouldn't see it because it was Casey Affleck, but I never got the chance to see it. Yeah, Darren, you're 5 through 1.
5 through 1? Okay, 5 through 1. Sorry, I just lost my list and I was pretending that I was taking a breath. Okay, so, number 5, Captain America Civil War. Captain America Civil War. Love this movie. Absolutely love this movie. Got to see it at a early screening. And I got to see it with a bunch of fucking nerds, and we all just lost our shit. You know, when Giant Man showed up, when Black Panther showed up, it was great. And I just love this movie. It's held up since its May release. It had a lot riding on it because of The Winter Soldier, which, in my opinion, is the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. But somehow Marvel pulled it off. The Russo brothers pulled it off, and I think it was the best superhero movie of the year for me because it handles its ensemble really well and its main character, but it handles its ensemble and its main character, and it digs deep into what makes them tick, what makes them work, how does it affect all of them being pulled apart by this certain event, and you get to see that play out. And ever since I was a kid, because of Justice League Unlimited, one of my favorite things to see superheroes do, I like when superheroes punch shit, I like explosions, but I like when they just sit around and talk, because you're like, all these extraordinary people just sitting around talking about these either mundane or large events. I love that, and that was a lot of Captain America: Civil War. Just people talking and arguing, and I just love that banter and that and seeing that all turn out. And I love how the Russo brothers used this film as a transitional tone piece for what they're going to be doing in Infinity War. You got to see a taste, and it helped, and it fit organically within this movie, that you got to see a taste of what they were going to be doing in Infinity War. So, and I love the ending of this movie. It it subverts your expectations that you think you're going to get this big assassin-filled fight at the end of the movie, but no, it's just three guys fighting in a room over someone over loss, and you have a friend trying to protect a friend trying to protect two friends while the other two friends are trying to kill each other. And I just love that, and I love that Marvel went that route. They listened to the fans, they listened to the criticisms of their films, because Marvel films were getting, the endings were starting to mirror each other, and I'm glad they finally were just like, hey, let's try to do something different. So I really, really enjoyed Captain America: Civil War. It's one of my favorite films of the year, and absolutely loved it. Number 4 is Swiss Army Man. I just actually was rewatching this film before we started recording, and this is hands down the most unique film I saw last year, and it's one of the most unique films I have seen ever. The Daniels, they're the directors. They crafted a very beautiful film about isolation and about it's about I don't even know how do you explain this. Paul Dano, he's teaching this dead corpse about life and love, and how does society react to each other, and it's okay to be weird sometimes. And I really I love this film, just the way they did it, the way they used the score. Paul Dano and Daniel Radcliffe are actually singing the score, how they transitioned into that. And Daniel Radcliffe honestly gives one of his best performances, and so does Paul Dano, because Paul Dano doesn't get punched in the face in this movie, which was surprising. But I absolutely love Swiss Army Man. And number 3, this movie had to end up somewhere on this list. It's La La Land. La La Land, if you're a creative person, if you ever wanted to go into the arts, do something, write, direct, do something, record a podcast, make a YouTube review, write a review, this is a movie for you. I mean, this is a movie about pursuing your dreams, but also it also doesn't hide away from the fact of reality. It does present to you like not everything's going to be easy. You're not always going to get what you want. And I love how melancholy it is, but also how optimistic the film is. And the two leads, Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, they play off each other really well. The score and the songs throughout the film are brilliant and beautiful, and you can't resist. Like the last 3 films on my list are films that I just couldn't resist walking away with a smile. Like I just had a glowing smile on my face throughout the film and walking away from it. And La La Land was one of them. And Damien Chazelle, he directs the someone in the crowd sequence. It's insane because you're just like, how the fuck did you do that? And he just directs this film like a champion. It's amazing, and it definitely deserves all the accolades it's getting. And number 2 is 20th Century Women. This is a film that I knew nothing about really when I went into it, and I loved it because it's 20th Century Women. I connect a lot with it because I grew up without a father, so the divorce or whatever, stupid. But so I had a lot to relate to with the main character about being raised by a single parent and trying to be raised by other females as well. that come across your way. So, and it's how Mike Mills handles ensemble, where once again, just like Star Trek Beyond, everyone gets their moment to shine. Everyone gets their moment to have a voice, and how he can direct normacy, similar to what Kenneth Lonergan did in Manchester by the Sea, where you feel like a fly on the wall watching these people, and just the journey. It never feels over. Like you don't want to leave these characters. You don't want to leave this family. And I like in movies. I like stories where you have a found family. They're not actually related to each other, but they bond through getting to know each other. So I just absolutely love this movie. It was magical. It's a nice little time capsule looking back at the 20th century. So it's definitely something I would definitely recommend. And my number one. My number one. I know what Dylan already knows what my number one is.
I know it is.
It's Edge of 17. I fucking love this movie. I love this movie.
And preach it.
I fucking like this is a great throwback movie. I saw this movie twice. I saw it another time on my birthday. I love this movie. Haley Steinfeld. Can't remember any of the actors' names. Sorry. Woody Harrelson.
Blake Jenner.
My man Blake Jenner.
Yeah, it's such a good fucking movie. And once again, this is another movie that is absolutely relatable to me. Some of the shit, like, this is one of the first movies in a long time where I was just like, I do that. Holy shit, I do that. Holy shit, I've done that.
Stupid.
Yes, very much. But yeah, you're just like, holy shit, and it's just it was so relatable. It's so funny. It's so well done. The writing is so sharp and witty. I loved everything about this movie, and and it's the only movie this year that I was just like, you know what, I have no problems with it. I have no qualms with it. It just all soared all the way through for me. I love the journey that Haley Steinfeld's Nadia. I love the journey her character went on. It's just such a fantastic film. So yeah, and Edge 17 it was definitely my number one film of the year. So yeah, out of my top 5: Captain America: Civil War, Swiss Army Man, La La Land, 20th Century Woman, and Edge of 17. That's a lot of talking.
Why'd you have to do it to me, man? Why'd you have to do that?
You guys see Dylan. He got hit in the head.
Dylan doesn't have
he tripped down the stairs when he was little. His mom said he was pushed. I did it, but yeah, he fell down the stairs and he's a little messed up in the head, and he doesn't like things with 17 in their name, or he doesn't like good things. So
I don't like good things.
He doesn't like good things.
What other thing don't I like 17 in the name?
The song Edge of 17. Why don't you go ahead with your list while I think of other things.
Exactly. Well, again, I'm once again in minority. I fucking hate Edge of 17.
You don't like the movie 17 again?
I've seen it like once. I saw it when I was like 8 years old. I saw it when I was like 8 years old, so I can't remember.
You hate FIFA 17?
I don't play FIFA because sports games are always shit.
So you don't like them.
Exactly.
That's right.
You don't like this year?
This year's pretty good so far, but it's yeah, Edge of 17, again, another movie I'm in the minority on. I fucking hated it. I think it's one of the worst movies of 2016. I think it's poorly written, and everyone says it understands teenagers so much, but I don't get that because apparently all teenagers are fucking idiots.
She wasn't an idiot.
Yes, she was. Anyways, go ahead and oh yeah, Miller, you're 5-1. That's right.
Okay. Number 5, to echo Darren's list, is The Nice Guys.
Oh, thank God! I thought you were about to say Edge 17.
The Nice Guys, I agree with Darren, very underrated movie. I mean, the people that liked it, or the people that saw it liked it, but it didn't do that well at the box office, even though people are always complaining about there being no original ideas in Hollywood.
There are.
But
You just
yeah,
don't
Ryan
fucking see
Gosling.
'em.
What?
I said there are. They just don't fucking see them.
Yeah, exactly. Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe, great chemistry. I would love to see a sequel to this. And I can't blanking on the actress's name who played Ryan Gosling's daughter, but she was
Angry
a
Rice.
great job.
Anna Glory Rice.
Yeah, thank you. Because that role could have been really terrible and really annoying. It brought down the entire movie, but Shane Black writes it in a way that's and how the actress plays it, it works really well. And yeah, just an all-around great and fun movie. I wish it did better, so we get a sequel. Number 4 is Edge of 17.
Whoa!
I love this movie so much. It's a movie that I think gets teenagers really well, unlike Dylan. And Haley Steinfeld, did she deserve an Oscar nomination? I mean, certainly worthy of it, but it's a competitive category because you had people who should have gotten in, but didn't get in anyway. But I would have been cool with her getting an Oscar
Why are you
nomination.
fucking doing this to me?
Because I'm just being honest.
You're torturing me.
But yeah, everything about that movie. I mean, it has some problems here and there, but everything about that movie, the main
Dylan,
points
I'm
really
sorry.
work.
One
What? Edge of
Dylan.
17 lover.
I would have taken out Arrival and put in the Edge of 17 in the Best Picture category.
Fuck you.
Same.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Well, Hell or High Water for me. Was
I would have taken out Hell or High Water too.
I'll say.
You're all pissing me off right now.
Yeah, but from all cylinders, Edge of 17 worked. Cast, director deserved her GGA nomination for First Timers. Writing should have gotten a Best Screenplay nomination. Yeah, just everything about this movie worked, and how it came together in the end was just really beautiful. And yeah, okay.
Yeah, like the character actually went on an arc. She actually ended up somewhere, you know?
A stupid fucking arc.
Like,
It didn't make any fucking sense.
It's brilliant.
I can't wait for Dylan to be 17 and then be like, damn, I get this movie. Then number 3 is this was kind of battling between Edge of 17 for the number 3, or yeah, it was either Edge of 17 and this movie are battling for the number 3 spot. But I think this movie, just how it does it, it's to agree with Darren again, 20th Century Women. I just saw it. I loved it. How it just it made me want to be a part of this family.
Yeah, I know, right?
Found family, as Darren put it, because they're not all related. But Annette Bening, once again, robbed an Oscar nomination. But what else is new? People say DiCaprio's overdue, but she's way more overdue. I mean, he won last year, but I mean, she just went before that. But the cast works really well, and Greta Gerwig also, I think, deserved an Oscar nomination. And yeah, I mean, the film got nominated for Best Original Screenplay, which was great, but yeah, should have gotten a lot more. But this was a movie that was so natural and raw and beautiful, and just like, I really loved it. And then the ending happened, then it just, how it all came together, and I was just like, bravo.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, yeah, this one just came out, like, I think nationwide last week, so definitely go see it if it's playing near you. It's definitely worth your time and money. And yeah, this and Edge of 17, even though they're not my favorite of the year, like, these are type of movies that I really like to watch, and usually, like, if I hear about them, like coming up from the year before or going into the year, if I hear about them, I'll be looking forward to them a lot. But yeah, just hopefully we'll get more movies.
Yeah, make more movies like this. Like,
yeah,
it's beautiful. It's just, I like how you said raw. That's a great way to describe it. It's raw. I really love that.
Number 2 is, like, I don't know. I think my number 2 and number 1, but they're really close. Number 2 is Nocturnal Animals. This movie was robbed of every Oscar nomination it could have gotten because Jake Gyllenhaal was great. I don't care what people say. I think Amy Adams should have been nominated for this movie, and she didn't get nominated at all, but I thought she was better in this movie than in Arrival. And Aaron Taylor-Johnson won the Golden Globe, but didn't get nominated for the Oscar because whatever. But he was great in that movie because that is an actor that I've liked in movies, but I've never, like, thought it was great. That movie, he scared the fucking hell out of me. and I was just like, this, like I was reading I think it was a Vulture article, and they said you can see his career turning as you're watching the movie, and like that's a perfect way to describe it. Like the cast works so well together. Tom Ford is a genius because this is a movie that could have gotten very messy from how the execution of it was, but he like did it, nailed it, and like the ending, I'm not going to go into exact specifics, but it's an ending that you're watching and you're like, okay, I could. You're like you're expecting to go one way, and then they just pull the rug right out from under you, and you're just like, holy hell, that is genius. This movie is wonderful. It should have gotten a lot more of the Oscar. But yeah, just a stylish, well put together movie that I loved, and it would have been number one if it wasn't for La La Land, which is La La Land is close to perfect as La La Land is close to perfect. Ryan Gosling, because Ryan Gosling was great in both this and The Nice Guys, because The Nice Guys played on his more comedic side, which I think this played on his more subtle side. And Emma Stone, she's gonna get that Oscar. It's gonna be great because this is true acting. Like, she's pulling from every experience she's had and putting it into this movie, and it works entirely well. This is a movie that shows like how beneficial human interaction can be with one another, and just the whole. It felt when you were watching it, it felt like you were watching classic, or you were watching a classic movie musical from the 60s. Like, it echoed that really well. And I'm trying to think of other stuff to say. And I think just how like it felt like it's a better directed movie than written, but it felt like in both aspects, Damien Chazelle, who also did Whiplash, which was really great, he just felt like covering his bases. Like, everything lined up really well together, and the ending works. The ending does wonders, because you're like, okay, even if you're not like exactly like, because I guess you follow these characters and you're like, okay, people have different ideas of what they want the ending to be. I think however you think about it, I think it's to the point where they do a good job of making it make sense for the type of movie it is, and it works really well. And I've seen it 3 times, and La La Land is my favorite of the year. I hope it wins Best Picture against the movies. Yeah, but I hope it wins Best Picture. I'd be cool with Manchester by the Sea honestly winning as well, but I hope, because it seemed like it would be like Moonlight versus La La Land, but definitely La La Land over Manchester, or definitely La La Land over Moonlight. And I'm just going to stop talking because I keep running out of stuff to say. God.
Okay. Well,
I want to add that.
I think you got a pretty good list except for that little movie with that.
I love the
17
timing
in
on
it.
that too. That was perfect. You're like, oh, I thought you were going to say Edge of 17, and I said it next. Oh, and also, I meant to bring this up when I was talking about 20th century women. For anyone listening to this, Mike Mills directed that movie. Go see Beginners, which was his last movie, because that was a great movie as well.
I need to see that.
Yeah. I think you had a pretty well-rounded list beside that.
And that Neighbors
So-
too.
With the
So
17.
Dylan, is it all movies numbers that you hate, or just the number 17?
I don't hate 10 Cloverfield Lane. I don't hate Terminator 2. I don't hate 28 Days Later. I don't hate 8 Mile.
Well, I don't think if it's a sequel, I don't think that counts as having a number in the title.
Well, it's got a number in the title, though.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, though.
But yeah, I don't hate 28 Days Later. I don't hate 8 Mile. I don't hate...
I don't know why you don't hate 28 Days Later. That movie's awful.
Fuck you. I like that movie. Anyways,
The last 20 minutes of that movie is amazing. Everything up to that is fucking stupid.
sure, buddy. Anyways,
But when you start the military compound, that's cool as shit.
it is cool as shit. It's fucking awesome. Anyways, Yeah, my 5 through 1. So, here goes my 5 through 1. Number 5 is a movie that was actually my favorite of the year when I first saw it, and then I saw some other movies and it got bumped down, but number 5 is Hacksaw Ridge. This movie amazed me. It was so just powerful and inspiring. It's just, oh my God! Mel Gibson makes a comeback with this movie. He directs this movie so well. As Miller said, the script is kind of corny, but Mel Gibson just directs it so well that you don't notice it. Andrew Garfield, oh my God, he's so good in this movie. He totally deserved that Oscar nomination. I don't know whether he's better in Silence or not because I haven't seen it yet, but
He is.
I'll see it sometime soon. Yeah, this is my favorite war movies. The third act of this movie is just, oh my God, it's amazing. This movie's just so good. And what's her name? Teresa Palmer. She's amazing. She's great too. So yeah, Hacksaw Ridge. It's great. Go see it if you haven't already. Number 4, This is a movie that I had absolutely no interest in, and I was so shocked, and I had not even heard of it until someone mentioned it to me. But Sing Street, I really, really like Sing Street. It's a movie that just made me so happy. Oh my God, the ending is so great. The ending just made me so happy. It's led by great performances and great direction. I always forget that director's name. What's his name? Does anyone know? He did Begin Again.
Oh yeah, he's the guy that insulted Keira Knightley, then everyone got pissed at him.
Mark Ruffalo.
Maybe.
John Carney.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he does great directing this movie, and the songs are so good. I think it was snubbed at the Oscars for Best Original Song. Yeah, Sing Street, it's such a great movie. It's just go watch it. It's on Netflix. Just go watch it. And number 3, this is the movie that I just got done rewatching that I've been talking about, and oh my God, I had only seen this movie once before. I rewatched it just a minute ago, and
Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
I liked it the
I forgot
first
to put that on my
time.
list.
I liked it the first time, and I loved it the second time, and that's The Nice Guys. Holy fuck! I loved this movie so much the second time around. I was disappointed at first when I saw it first because we weren't going to get a sequel. Now I'm even more disappointed because I liked it more on the second time. And we'll probably get one like 10 years from now that Shane Black probably won't direct it, but because I've already predicted it, it's going to become a cult classic and it's going to get like a sequel in like 10, 15 years or something. But
And the stars of the movie are going to be old and craggly. Just running around, I'm too old for this shit. You too?
And the performance.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling at the ripe old age of 40.
That's true. That's true. The performances are so great. Ryan Gosling just fucking owns this movie along with Russell Crowe. Shane Black just directs this movie so well, and it is so well written. It's one of my. I think it's one of the best screenplays of 2016, and it's just such a good movie. It's so much fun. It's so funny. It's just such a fun movie to watch on a Friday night when you feel like just having fun. It's just such a good movie. And number 2, I was kind of surprised that I'm the only one with this on their list.
Star Wars Rogue
number
One?
2 is Rogue One.
Yeah.
When I saw Star Wars, I saw Rogue One opening night, and I was amazed. I was just I cry. I actually cried during the Vader scene. It was just I think it's the best Star Wars movie since Empire Strikes Back. I love this movie to death. I've seen it twice now, and Felicity Jones, she's great. Gareth Edwards does such a great job making this feel like a war movie. The third act of this movie is just so phenomenal. I love like everything about this movie except for that weird squid octopus scene. That was weird, but
What though? You don't like the Babadook? Or I don't think I said it. I said something
The
else.
Babadook.
Yeah, I said something. If I die tonight, guys, you know why.
But yeah, everything except that. And Forrest Whitaker's kind of on and off. But
Wait, what was the squid thing? I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's like it like connects to that guy's face.
yeah, and it makes you like tell the truth or some shit.
Yeah.
But
Oh, all right, okay, yeah.
but yeah, I fucking, oh my god, I fucking love this movie. It's got great cinematography, amazing visual effects, and the way this movie connects to A New Hope is just, you can watch Rogue One and then you can watch A New Hope right after, and it feels like, it'll feel like one 4-hour movie because of how well it connects to it. Yeah, in the Vader scene is my favorite scene is my favorite Vader scene in the saga, and one of my favorite scenes in the entire saga too. I love this movie, I really do. And some honorable mentions now. There are a few movies that before I do my number one, I'll do my honorable mentions, and there are a few movies that I really wanted to get on the list, but just couldn't make it. There was one that was so close to making it, but I flip-flop back and forth. 10 Cloverfield Lane is the first one. I flip-flop back and forth with it and Midnight Special. I couldn't decide which one to put on there. That's why I was saying my number 10 was really hard. Another honorable mention, Star Trek Beyond. I really like Star Trek Beyond. I think it's better than the first Star Trek, but I like Into Darkness more. Fuck you, I don't care. It's underrated. And another honorable mention, Deadpool. Deadpool is a really, really fun movie. It's hilarious, although I think it has some slight pacing issues, and I think the flashback scenes kind of brought it down a bit for me. And another one is another Marvel movie this year, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is a really fun movie. I love how it does its third act. Benedict Cumberbatch is perfect for Doctor Strange, and Scott Derrickson is one of my favorite directors, and he does such a great job directing this movie. And also Hell or High Water. Hell or High Water is another great movie that I wanted to make the list, but it just couldn't get there. Chris Pine deserved an Oscar nomination. I don't care what anyone says. Jeff Bridges, not so much, but whatever. Yeah, the direction is great, and I really like the art direction too, and and the color grading. The color grading is so great. It makes you feel like you're right there in Texas. But yeah, Hell or High Water. And then my last honorable mention, Captain America Civil War. A movie I liked but didn't like as much as other people did, but I still think it's a really good movie. I think it's really fun. I like this is how I describe this movie. I like the third act of Civil War more than I do the third act of Batman v Superman, but I like the first two acts of Batman v Superman more than I do the first two acts of Civil War, because I think Civil War kind of does its first two acts. I think they're kind of wonky, and then it really, really gets great in its third act. It's unpopular opinion, but I don't think the airport scene belongs in that movie. I think it's a very well-directed battle scene. I don't think it necessarily belongs in that movie, but that's just me. But yeah, I really like Civil War. It just couldn't make the list. But now for my number one of the year. I know you all saw this coming, but Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is...
Just say La La Land, damn it.
It's actually Assassin's Creed. No, I'm just
Oh my god.
If it actually was like Oscar.
No, we
La La
lost him.
Land. Fucking La La Land, man. Oh my god, do I love this movie so much. I cannot put my love for this movie into words. I can't. In my opinion, it's one of the best movies of the decade. It's one of my favorite. It might actually be the best movie of the decade so far for me. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. The performances, Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, Damien Chazelle. It's this movie. Oh my god, it was an absolute hands down decision for number one. There's nothing else on this list, in my opinion, that comes anywhere close to it. Even Rogue One, I don't think even comes close to La La Land. It's just I love this movie so much, and I talk about it so much because I love it. I love it so much. This movie is the movie that made it. It made me so happy. It made me so unbelievably happy. I have not left the theater that happy since I don't even fucking know how long.
Since Suicide Squad.
Oh jeez.
There is
Oh, no,
there is some truth to that.
I forgot.
There is some truth to
There is
that,
some
actually.
truth to that.
For those of you who don't know, I hate Suicide Squad, so don't jump on me, but I kind of sort of had a fanboy moment after I saw it and freaked out and loved it, and then I watched it again and again and started to hate it, and I hate it now.
Don't worry, Dylan. I did the same thing with Batman v Superman.
Yeah, but La La Land is the
I did the same thing with Spider-Man 3.
I don't know if I've ever walked out of a theater that happy, honestly. La La Land just filled me with so much joy. It's a beautiful film. Damien Chazelle just fucking kills it with this movie. He did a great job with Whiplash, and you just fucking came in and showed us how to direct a fucking movie. He showed us how to make a fucking movie. And I swear to fuck, if he doesn't win that fucking Oscar, I'm gonna fucking go up to the Academy myself and I'm a very colorfully worded talk with them.
You're not gonna do shit.
And it better fucking win Best Picture too.
You're gonna sit there and mope and talk about how you want to kill yourself, but other than that, you're not gonna do shit.
Yeah, just as Mel Gibson's brushing off his new Oscar.
Oh my god. No, don't
wanna
do me
hit it.
like that, Miller. Don't do me like that. Yeah, La La Land, and I could literally go on about this movie all day long. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear it, but I love this movie. I love this movie so fucking much. La La Land, best film of 2016, hands down. Anyways, so any comments on my list, I guess?
Severely lacking the Edge of 17, but
I am actually really surprised that none of us put Rogue. I mean, Rogue One was originally going to be my 10, but then I was just like, I think. So yeah, I'm surprised none of us had Rogue One, other than Dylan.
I didn't think Rogue was that great.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
kind
it
of
was pretty awful.
it's kind of just turned into just a movie for me. So I still liked it, but you know,
It's like I loved it. Darren liked it. Miller thought Will thought it was okay, and then Miller thought it was awful.
yeah, Miller's
I
just
don't know if
staring.
they're awful. It's not really, just bad.
You just said it was awful.
I was just doing that for a fact.
Yeah, I fucking love Rogue One. Fucking the haters.
Yeah,
man.
I said awful, then I'm like, not awful.
And by the way, I want to say this other thing about La La Land. To all of you edgy fucks out there that want to be different and edgy, and deliberately not like this movie, stop being a fucking cunt and just don't be a fucking idiot. Like,
Go watch it like Nocturnal Animals because that movie needs more love.
I see so many people. There's so many fucking people out there that hate on this movie just because other people love it. Like with La La Land, it's like people either love it or people either hate it, and most people that hate it only hate it because a lot of people love it. So yeah, I just wanted to say that about La La Land. Anyways, any other comments before I close out?
No, I mean, 2016 was a weird year. It's not everything we wanted to succeeded, but
That's putting it lightly.
yeah, but I think we all found little gems throughout the year that we all liked, and I thought we all had a lot of surprises because like 20th Century Woman was a giant surprise to me. Edge of 17, giant surprise. And the Eddie the Eagle, Patriots Day, giant surprises. I'm glad Star Trek came back to prominence. The Nice Guys was a nice little surprise in there. Deadpool worked. Civil War was great. So Iron Man was unique. So I thought it was a pretty good year overall. Even not everything made it into our list. There was only 10 films, but overall, I think it's a good year to walk away from.
Edge of 17 surprised me too, in it being fucking awful.
Hey, Will, what did you think of 2016? Huh?
I didn't see it.
No, I said, what did you think of the movies and everything, huh?
I didn't see Edge of 17, so
Okay,
I can't join.
He's not saying that.
Okay, Miller.
I can't join in on the Dylan trolling this time because I missed that one. But if we all want to troll the fuck out of Dylan, I say we come up with a top 10 list of movies that have 17 in the title.
17 again.
I didn't even ask you that. What the fuck? Okay, but
He asked you what did you think of 2016 as a year for cinema.
Oh, I thought he was asking about the Edge of 17. Yeah. I thought that there was a lot of disappointing stuff, but there was a lot of gems scattered throughout. Then there were some movies that weren't necessarily bad. I just expected more out of them. Like Hands of Stone. Hands of Stone promised to be something special, and it was just a boxing movie, and I was disappointed by that. But yeah, I mean, it was probably a mediocre year, but wasn't awful.
Yeah,
Nice.
totally.
So
Anyone
now
else
that I'm
wants-
answering the right question, there it is.
Will, you need to go watch Edge of 17 because I think you'll fucking hate it. Then someone will finally be on my side.
Hey, Will, do you like John Hughes movies?
Yeah.
Oh, win.
Who doesn't like John Hughes movies?
Apparently,
Dylan,
Dylan.
apparently.
I don't even know if I've ever seen a fucking John. I've never even seen The Breakfast Club. So.
Okay, guys, well, we're wrapping this one up. I hope you enjoyed the top 10 because I got to go beat the shit out of some guy named Dylan. But
Jesus.
Anyways, guys, if you like this, I hope you enjoyed our top 10, and let us know your top 10 in the comments if you want to, or, if you just want to be a dick about it, then, don't, whatever. If you like this video, anyways, guys, if you like this video, make sure you leave a like. And if you don't like this video and you want to tell us why you think it's shit, tell us why you think it's shit in the comments. Make sure you subscribe, check out our website, totallastcredit.wordpress.com. Go check out our Facebook at Till the Last Credit. Go check out our Instagram at Till the Last Credit, and go check out our Twitter at Till the Last Credit. And until next time, guys, make sure you tell your friends how awful Edge 17 is, so you can spread the word.
How great.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
What are you doing?
What was that?
That was Edge of 17, the song.
Oh my fuck. Why'd you have to do that to me? Why?
Oh my fuck. The soap opera starring Dylan Boyd.
Okay, bye, guys.
Make sure you go tell everyone how bad Edge 17 is, so you can spread the word of my cult called Edge 17 is terrible.com.
.com.
Bye.